At 21 years old, Beverly Brodsky rode her motorcycle through the streets of Philadelphia with a heart that was firmly closed to the divine. She did not believe in God. Her worldview was not built on whim, but on the heavy, jagged scars of her family history. Having grown up in the shadow of the Holocaust, she was convinced that if a creator truly existed, he had abandoned his people when they needed him most. To Beverly, the universe was indifferent. She spent her youth sharpening her mind with the cold tools of philosophy, building a formidable fortress of logic and reason against the very concept of faith. She lived by the intellect, convinced that anything that could not be proven by science or logic simply did not exist. She was a woman of ironclad certainty, navigating a world she believed was empty of spirit. On the 2nd of July 1970, that fortress of logic shattered in a single violent heartbeat. A car cut sharply across her path. In a blur of chrome and asphalt, Beverly was launched over the handlebars. Her helmet came loose, and her skull fractured against the unforgiving pavement. She does not remember the impact itself. Instead, she remembers the impossible sensation of rising. Hovering high above the hot summer asphalt, she watched from a distance as a crowd of strangers gathered around her broken body. There was no agony, no fear, and no panic. There was only a sudden, silent transition from the physical world into something else. She began to move through a vast, non-threatening darkness, traveling at a speed that defied every law of physics she had ever studied. Then, she reached the light. It was not merely a glow or a visual phenomenon, it was a living, breathing presence. It knew her completely. It held her with a profound familiarity that bypassed all her intellectual defenses and academic skepticism. In the brilliance of that light, her atheism did not just vanish, it simply dissolved. It did not end through a logical debate or a sudden revelation of facts, but through the overwhelming, undeniable weight of being known and being loved. She realized that this presence had been there all along, beneath the layers of her logic and her pain. The light was an ocean of compassion, a source that felt more real than the ground she had walked on. For the first time in her life, the fortress was gone, replaced by a connection that was ancient, sacred, and absolute. She was no longer a stranger in a cold universe. She was home. Within that light, she experienced a life review. It was not a judge's verdict or a list of sins, but a visceral connection to every soul she had ever touched. She felt the ripple effects of her existence. She felt the sharp pain of those she had hurt, and the quiet joy of those she had helped, experiencing it all from their own unique perspectives. Most importantly, she saw the suffering of her ancestors and the long silence of history. She realized then that their pain had not been ignored or forgotten by the divine. It was held. It was part of a much larger tapestry of experience that the light understood completely. She did not want to leave this place of total clarity. The light felt more like home than any city or house she had ever known on Earth. But she was sent back. Beverly woke in a hospital bed with a mending skull and a completely shattered worldview. She never returned to her old life of cynical isolation. While she did not adopt a traditional religion, she carried the absolute certainty of that encounter for over 50 years. She came to a singular, powerful conclusion. God is love, and human tragedy does not stem from God being absent from the world, but from people becoming absent from one another. We are the hands and hearts that must hold each other. Today, Beverly tells her story not to convert the masses, but to testify to what she saw. Whether you are a skeptic, a believer, or someone lost in the middle, remember that the light she met did not ask for credentials or a list of beliefs. It loved her first, exactly as she was. If this journey into the light moved you, please subscribe to join us for more stories of the human spirit.